Hey, this is Jim Greamy, and I wanted to show you and demonstrate to you my new little gizmo, because my old, much more expensive gizmo that I had doesn't seal anymore. I guess it no longer sucks. But anyway, I bought this on Amazon a week and a half ago. Played with it. My wife has already taken some of the stuff I've sealed to work. This is me sealing M&Ms, but it does a really good job. Now, it says here in the instructions, do not try to vacuum seal like potato chips and things that can crush, because you will have potato powder after that. But it's a very nice thing. It's plugged in right now. This is a status light for you just to vacuum and seal. If you want to do that, once we get it in here, and I'll show you in a moment, we'll vacuum and seal this, and then this is just seal only. This button right here is the vacuum release. Once you put it in here, they give you two little places to put your fingers or thumbs or whatever. You don't want to push on it hard, but then you press down on that until this changes color. We'll see that in a moment. And then you'll be able to release, and when you release, because it's got a vacuum seal on it, the lid's going to stay down, and then you'll press this, and basically this allows air to get back into the vacuum area. The vacuum area is, see if I can get this way, there's a light on, there we go. This here is the vacuum area, this section, right, this void right in here. This is the vacuum, what takes the vacuum out of the bag. And this is the it's probably some kind of polymer that presses down on the heat strip. This is the heat strip here. They tell you there that you don't want to move this thing around whenever you're trying to seal anything. You don't want to run this more than you want to allow a certain amount of cool down time between this, because this strip has got a protective coating on it, and if you run it, number one, you will severely melt your bags. And these bags are technically, they are reusable. I'm doing this in my kitchen. I had to make sure everything was clean so my wife won't beat me to death. But this actually does work if you're careful when you open these up. Then as long as you keep the stuff in the, you don't overfill the bag. You're not supposed to fill it more than 3/4 of the way of the bag full. This bag's about 10 inches, less than 10 inches wide actually. But you can reseal this again. And just to show you how well this works, what you do is you take the edge of the bag. Notice that my my cut wasn't exactly straight, but we're going to work on this here. I'm going to set this here. I'm going to press this, and I'm going to press the vacuum seal on this, and I'm going to hold this down. And you can see, and then this changes color. I let up on it, and it'll shut off. And then I press this, and then this will allow me to once I press this will allow me to reopen it. And there I've got a nice seal. Now it was a little grabby there at the moment because this hadn't cooled down quite enough. And so it wasn't because the vacuum wouldn't release, it was because of the melted plastic here. Now, to show you how this works on something that is a little less, I am going to show you my lunch that I am going to take into work today. Well, my wife obviously has been inside my lunch, and she's eaten part of the 2 hot dogs that I've taken. My wife doesn't understand my OCD, how I only like to eat whole foods. I don't like to eat partial foods. And so this is my Frankfurter, my Frank all beef Frank, and I will put this down since I had just done it. Now what you want to do is you want to make sure that the edge of this bag is inside this void, and that's how it is able to vacuum the air out of the bag. And so we press that down like that, and I'll push down on it, and then I'll start the vacuum seal again. And then you can see as try to move my arm, and then basically I will just hold this down until it will automatically shut off here in a moment. And there it does. And then I can sit there and press on this, and this will basically break the vacuum seal. I think all of this really thing does, it's very low tech, it just puts an indentation in the rubber seal so that the vacuum will come apart. And then once that happens, and there you go, now I can take my Frankfurter. Now, usually, just, you know, FYI, once I put anything that's a meat product inside any of the plastic bags, then I do not reuse the bags. I don't even try to clean them again. But if it's a non-meat product and if it's dry, then I can rinse them out and I'll reuse it, and I feel fairly safe. This is the box it comes in. Notice that it's CE. This means it meets all the health certifications for the European Economic Community or Union. Rose, it's restriction on and health safety. Make sure that there's nothing in this that is dangerous to our health. And of course, then this symbol is the FCC. This means it's FCC compliant. It means because this has an electronic component to it, it will not interfere with any electronics because any basically magnetic interference that it produces is so low that it won't harm cell phones, etc., etc. It comes with these two locks that come up here like that. Unplugs here. This is the unplug. And the unit is very light. It's very easy to clean. You want to make sure that if you're going to clean it, wipe anything off. I would make sure you do not get it wet. You could use a damp cloth to wipe anything off that's in there. There's really not much to get dirty on it. I would try not to get it all messed up. They give you instructions. They're multilingual. Of course, for me, English is good. I can wade my way through German, French, and Italian. Forget it. And of course, anything that's an Oriental language is going to kill me. Some of the stuff you're going to see, because keep in mind this is a Chinese product. They are dealing with American English, and so you're going to find some certain grammatical errors within the text and stuff, but it does not harm the ability to understand it. For no more than what I paid for this, I believe I paid like $39.99 for this. It was much, much, much less expensive than the brand name, which is one of the reasons why I bought a no-name. But it got hot. It was rated fairly high. I actually read the ratings to make sure it wasn't some fake rating, that nobody's ever touched the device. But this is, I'm very pleased with this. For $39.99, it's a very nice unit. It's very light. It tells you on the end of the box here, basically the specs on this thing. This thing only weighs like 0.42 kilograms. It's just very, very, very light. Vacuum, it's less than 60 kPa, and so 90 watts of power. So you're not drawing a lot of amps or anything on this, but vacuum seal. It's sold there on Amazon by SEREE. Good deal. Great product. I like it.